स एकैवेतरतामितो भयम् नैवात्मलाभादधिमन्यते परम्. Word to word meaning. Sa, he, why, indeed, patihi, a husband, sat, would be, a kuto bhaya, who is not fearful of anyone, swayam, self-sufficient, samantata, entirely, pati, maintains, bhayaturam, who is very afraid, janam, a person, sah, therefore he, ekaha, one, eva, only, itaratha, otherwise, mitha, from one another, bhayam, fear, na, not, eva, indeed, atmalabhat, than the attainment of you, adhi, greater, manyate, is accepted, param, other thing. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. So we just repeat the translation behind. He alone, who is never afraid, but who, on the contrary, gives complete shelter to all fearful persons, can actually become a husband and protector. Therefore, O my Lord, you are the only husband, and no one else can claim this position. If you are not the only husband, you would be afraid of others. Therefore, persons learned in all Vedic literature accept only your leadership as everyone's master. And they think no one else a better husband and protector than you. Purport. Here the meaning of a husband or guardian is clearly explained. People want to become husband, a guardian, a governor, or a political leader without knowing the actual meaning of such a superior position. There are many people all over the world, indeed throughout the universe, who claim for some time that they are husbands, political leaders, or guardians. But in due course of time, the Supreme Lord desires their removal from their post, and their careers are immediately finished. Therefore, those who are actually learned and advanced in spiritual life do not accept any leader, husband, or maintainer other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Lord Krishna personally states in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Shemi Mahasvicha. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Krishna is not afraid of anyone. On the contrary, everyone is afraid of Krishna. Therefore, he can actually give protection to subordinate living entities. Since so-called the leaders or dictators are completely under the control of material nature, they can never give complete protections to others. Although they claim this ability due to the false prestige, Natehi Vidu Swartha Gatim Hi Vishnu. Where is this shloka from? Seventh canto, Prahlad Maharaj prayers. So Nate Vidu, they do not know Swartha, our own interest. Gatim Hi Vishnu. Vishnu is the ultimate. So people do not know that the real advancement in life consists of accepting the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one's master. Instead of deceiving themselves and others by pretending to be all powerful, all political leaders, husbands and guardians should spread Krishna conscious movement so that everyone can learn how to surrender to the Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Husband. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Naina Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancham Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalitan Sri Vishakhan Vitancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrushabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Krupa Siddhve Vacham Patitanam Pramanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatharini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate giri yat kripa tamaham vande Sri Guru Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Sunday Feast program. We are reading from Canto 5, Chapter 18, Shloka number 20. So the Canto 5, the Creative Impetus, Chapter 18 is the prayers by residents of Jambudvipa, and the particular today's prayer is that, so he alone, translation, he alone who is never afraid but who is the contrary, gives the complete shelter to all the fearful person, can actually become a husband and a protector. Therefore, O my Lord, you are the only husband and no one else can claim this position. If you are not the only husband, you would be afraid of others. Therefore, persons learned in all Vedic literature accept only your lordship as everyone's master, and they think no one else a better husband and a protector than you. So this is the prayer from last time was prayers. What was the prayer that we had last time? Which Varsha? Which Varsha we had last time, which we discussed 5.18.10. But who was praying to whom? Prahlad Maharaj was praying to Narsimha Dev. And which Varsha? Hari Varsha. Very good. So today's prayer is from the Ketu Mala Varsha to the left side, which is the Ketu Mala Varsha. And who is praying that? Who is praying this? Lakshmi Devi. To whom? Lord. Rishikesha. So this is the prayer. So we can just quickly go through this prayer. So here people sometimes think that, oh, I am a husband, I am a politician, I am a leader, I am a guardian. But here it is said that, Purport Srila Prabhupada says that everyone is afraid of somebody else. And that is why we cannot really give the abhayam. Otherwise everybody is afraid of someone. And the translation says that if you are afraid of someone, you cannot be the Supreme Lord. Because in Bhagavad Gita 18.66 it is said that Sarva Dharman Pariteja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshaya Sebhi Masucha. Those who surrender unto me, I can give you all shelter and free from all kinds of sinful reaction. And who is giving this promise? Only the Supreme Lord. So the person who can afford or who can give the shelter is the only Supreme Lord. But other people, other than the Supreme Lord, husband, then guardian, politicians, and many other, if they course, if in the due course of time, if they claim that I am the one Supreme One and I can give abhayam, then they are wrong. Because in the due course of time, Lord Krishna will finish everyone. Time slowly and steadily, everyone. The leaders, so-called the leaders who are in the past are nowhere now today. New set of leaders are there. In the due course of time, they will also be gone and another set of leaders will come. So they are not there eternally. So if somebody is not there eternally, how can they give a protection? And that is why here Mother Lakshmi Devi, she is protecting to Rishikesh, Lord Sri Krishna, Narayana, that you are the only master, you are the only protector, and only the one you are in a position who can afford abhayam. Otherwise everybody is under the one. Some or the other. We have bhayam about the future, what will happen. We have lamentation, what we did in the past. So always we are in the shoka moha bhaya. All the time it is there. But it is only the Supreme Lord who can give that. And that is where the prayer that Lakshmi Devi is saying here, who is never afraid and who contrary gives the complete shelter to all the people. And all the people, what is the adjective used here? Fearful. That means everybody in this material world is fearful. Small child, from all the way from the exam to the young, all the way to the old age, everybody is afraid of either exam or job or whatever it could be, or death. Everybody is afraid. And therefore, oh my Lord, you are the only husband, Pati, and no one else can claim this position. Who is the only husband? And all others are serving him. You cannot take the position. And if you are not the only husband, so in a negative way, if you are not the only husband, you will be afraid of others, obviously. So that means if we are afraid of others, we cannot claim as a husband. And therefore, persons learned in all the Vedic literatures. So Krishna, you see that so beautifully. He says that it's not my only opinion, but even all the people in the Vedic literature, though are learned, they accept only your lordship as everyone's master, and they think no one else can be a better husband and protector than you, oh my dear Lord Sri Krishna. So we'll come back to the quick recap of our discussion. What we are discussing from 16th February, we discussed about the horizontal structure, and today we are going to discuss the vertical structure of the universe. So does anyone remember 16th February means almost 15 days, right? So what was the initial Bhumandal structure and how it converted into how many oceans? 7 oceans. How it happened into 7 oceans? Who? Priyavrata Maharaj, not Prutu. Priyavrata Maharaj. And who is Priyavrata Maharaj? Son of Swayambhu Manu. And he has a younger brother called as father of Dhruva Maharaj. Uttanpad. So Uttanpad has ruled the kingdom or the universe, and then from Uttanpad came Dhruva, from Dhruva came the king Venu Pruthu, Anga Venu Pruthu, and then after some time Prachinarbhishat, and then Prachetas, and after Prachetas there were no one to rule. And then Brahmadev requested to Priyavrata. Priyavrata has already renounced everything. Then he got married and then he started ruling. So during that, it was said, Sukadeva Goswami said that he divided this whole Bhumandala into 7 dvipas. And the 7 dvipas was divided to his 7 sons. And then Parikshit Maharaj said, please hold on. Can you please tell me the story how he divided this whole Bhumandala into 7 oceans? And from there, Sukadeva Goswami starts begin to discuss about this Bhumandala. And the Priyavrata Maharaj has his chariot, and his chariot wheel, he created every time he does a parikrama or that, he creates a one trot, something called as a valley, and that valley become a ocean. So like this, he went all around the Bhumandala. How many times? 7 times. And that 7 times created 7 oceans. And because there are ocean, so between the ocean there is a land. That land called as Dvipa. The tract of land is called as Dvipa. So like this, there are how many Dvipas created? 7 Dvipas. And we saw that. So what are those Dvipas? If we see that, the innermost Dvipa is called as Jambu Dvipa. And double of that Jambu Dvipa size is the next Dvipa called as Plaksha Dvipa. And 4 times of that, it's like, imagine it is like a lotus. The center of the lotus, the core of the lotus is Jambu Dvipa. The smallest one, his size is X. And that X is 12.87 lakh kilometer. And the next that, around that is the ocean called as salt water. And last time, Mrutyunjay Prabhu was asking, what is the Sanskrit name for that? And yesterday I did that. The ocean surrounding to the Jambu Dvipa is called as Lavana Udahi. Lavana Udahi, the ocean of the salt water. Then next Dvipa is a Plaksha Dvipa. So we are talking about this horizontal circular section of the Bhumandala, which is a Plaksha Dvipa. Size is 2 times of the X. X is a 12.87 kilometer. And the Plaksha Dvipa is surrounded by sugarcane juice. And the sugarcane juice in Sanskrit is Ikshu Rasa Udena. Ikshu Rasa. Ikshu Rasa means sugarcane. And the third dvip is a Shalmali Dvipa, which is a 4 times of the Jambu Dvipa. So Jambu Dvipa, Plaksha Dvipa, then Shalmali Dvipa. And last time I told that Shalmali Dvipa has some reference. In Garga Samhita, when we are talking about the which Giriraj, and Pulashyamani goes there to get this Giriraj, that is the Shalmali Dvipa, which is 4 times. And the Shalmali Dvipa is surrounded by liquor. And Nishant Prabhu asked why it is the liquor. Today also I do not have answer. Surodat. It is called as Surodat. And after Shalmali Dvipa, the next is a Kusha Dvipa, surrounded by the Grita. Grita is a Sanskrit word, is Uden. And then beyond that, the Krauncha Dvipa, which is a 16 times 12.87 kilometer, surrounded by Kshira Ocean. Kshira ante milk. And the last is the last but one is a Shaka Dvipa, which is 32 times than the 12.87 kilometer. It's covered by Dadhi Manda Udena. It is covered by Dadhi. So those who like Kshira, they can go to the Kshir Sagar. And those who like... No, this is different. This is the ocean. And then there is a Dadhi, which is the covering the Shaka Dvipa. And the last is a Pushkar Dvipa, which is surrounded by Swadu Udakena Samudrena. Swada Udakena Samudra. Swadu Udakena means sweet water. So the Bhumandala, the flat region, the innermost is like a lotus, which is the innermost is called as Jambu Dvip. The next is a Plaksha Dvip. The beyond that, the next petal is Shalmali Dvip, Kusha Dvip, Krauncha Dvip, Shaka Dvip, and the last is Pushkar Dvip. And every time the size become double and double and double and double, and the finally Pushkara Dweep. Pushkara Dweep is a 64 times 12.87 lakh kilometers. We cannot imagine. And then we discussed about this Jambu Dweepa itself is divided into 9 varshas, right? In how many varshas? And in the middle of Jambu Dweepa is a mountain made of gold called as Sumera mountain. And east of that, so if you see that the Sumera mountain is actually between so the middle of the Varsha is called as Ilavrat Varsha, and along the 4 directions of Ilavrat Varsha there are 4 mountains. East is Gandhamandana mountain, then to the south is a Nishada mountain, to the west is a Malyavan mountain, to the north is a Nila mountain. So this is the Sumeru, which is the middle of Jambu Dweepa. So you see here, sea of pure water, then milk, yogurt, ghee, then wine, then sugarcane juice, and then this is the Lavana, and the middle of that is Jambu Dweepa. The Jambu Dweepa is also divided into 9 varshas. The middle of the varshas is called as Ilavrat Varsha, and middle of Ilavrat Varsha is Sumera mountain. The Sumera mountain is, what is the height of Sumera mountain? 1 lakh yojana. So from the Ilavrat mountain, the Sumeru Parvat is 1 lakh yojana, but it is all on the Bhumandala, or it is there something down? How much was the down? 16,000, very close, Varun. So 16,000 down, 84,000 above. And right of that Gandhamandan side, that means east, then Nishad, and then Malyavan and Nila. Then the south, the east of the Ilavrat Varsha is a Bhadra Varsha. And then south of that is Harivarsha, and then west of that Ketumala Varsha. And in Ketumala Varsha, who is the resident? The presiding deity is Rishikesh. And who is worshipping Rishikesh? Lakshmi Devi. And then north is the Nila mountain. Then there is a Ramyaka Varsha. Then there is a Sweta mountain. Then Hiranmaya Varsha. Then Sringavan mountain. And Uttara Kuru Varsha. So this is on the north side. And the south side comes Harivarsha, Hemakuta mountain, then Kim Purusha Varsha. Who is there in Kim Purusha? Hanumanji, and worshipping Prabhu Ramchandraji. And then there is a mountain called as Himalayas, and the southmost is the Bharat Varsha. So Jambu Dweepe, Sumera, Dakshine, Bharat Varsha, Bharata Khande. So this Bharat Varsha is also divided into 9 khandas. So that we did not go in detail. So this is the 9 deities who are residing there. So Ilavrat Varsha is Sankarshana and all the way to the, and for our Bharat Varsha, who is there? Narad Muni is worshipping Nar Narayan. Okay, now this is the just a recap of that. Any questions till here? So Bhumandala is divided into how many dvipas? 7 dvipas. How many oceans? 7 oceans. So this is all horizontal structure. And the middle of the dvipa is called as Jambu Dweepa. Jambu Dweepa is also divided into how many varshas? 9 varshas. The core of that is Ilavat Varsha, and in the middle of the Ilavat Varsha there is a mountain called as, and those who are interested in lot of gold, one can travel there, but we do not know whether the gold is the same, that element, or different element. But and the height of the Sumera mountain is 1 lakh yojana, above the Bhumandala 84,000, and below that is 16,000, and then Bhadrashwa, then Harivarsha, Kim Purusha, and the southern of that Jambu Sumera mountain is a Bharat Varsha, and then Dakshine of Godavari Tire, and then we said that we are sitting into, so that is how that mantra that we do for the beginning of any sacrifice. Now today we are going to discuss about the vertical structure of that. So if you see here the Bhumandala, and above the Bhumandala is a Bhur Loka, then Swarga Loka, and then upper planetary system. And between the Bhur Loka to the Swarga Loka, there is something called as Antariksha. And there is a shloka. So we are referring today all the way from chapter 21, shloka, chapter 21, Bhagavatam, canto 5, shloka number 2. So if we see here, the Garbhodakshaya ocean, above that is the lower planetary system, middle is the Bhumandala, above Bhumandala is Bhur Swargaloka, and then Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. And now Sukadeva Goswami begins to discuss the first thing that he discussed about the Suryadev. It's very beautifully mentioned here. So Suryadev, it is Anda Madhe Gata Surya. Anda Madhe, this whole Brahmanda is a Anda, like a shape. And exactly vertically, the middle of that is what is situated? Suryadev. And if you see, the size or the diameter of this Brahmanda is how much? The cell to cell, middle cell to the cell. What is the diameter of the? It is mentioned there. 50 koti is the, in terms of the koti yojana, is the diameter of that Brahmanda. And the Suryadev is exactly at middle of that 25. So 25 kilo koti, above that is this other cell diameter, and below that is the 25 kilometer. So it is said that Bhagavatam 5 20:43, Anda Madhe Gato Surya Dwa Abhumyor Yad Antaram Suryada Golayar Madhe Koti Shu Pancha Vimshata. Pancha Vimshat means Panchvis, Koti means Koti. So it is exactly at the center. Can you read the translation, Nishant Prabhu?
Yeah. The sun is situated vertically in the middle of the universe, in the area between Bhurloka and Bhuvarloka, which is called Antariksha, outer space. The distance between the sun and the circumference of the universe is 25 koti yojanas, which is 2 billion miles.
Yeah, sorry, actually you are right. 4 billion miles you said, no? It is the same as this. So which is the 25 above koti, 25 koti below that. And now the Suryadev is vertically from the Bhumandala how much? 1 lakh yojana. So you can see here is the Bhumandala here, right? Are you able to see the cursor?
Yes.
Above the Bhumandala, you can see here there is, I am pointed here as 1 lakh yojana, which is the Suryadev. So Suryadev is above Bhumandala. How many yojanas? 1 lakh yojana means how many miles? 8 lakh. 8 lakh miles, and then multiply by 1.6 makes a kilometer. So the closest to the earthly planet is, or the Bhumandala is Suryadev. And then there are beautiful things about the Suryadev mentioned here. Eshaikam Chakram Dwadasha Asram Sam. Okay, the translation. Can you read the translation, bro?
Yes, Guru. The chariot of the sun god has only one wheel, which is known as Samvatsara.
Samvatsara. You may know Samvatsara. Samvatsara means year.
The 12 months are calculated to be its 12 spokes. The 6 regions are the sections of its rim, and the 3 Chaturmasya periods are its 3-sectioned hub. One side of the axle carrying the wheel rests upon the summit of Mount Sumeru, and other rests upon Manasottara mountain. Affixed to the outer end of the axle, the wheel continuously rotates on Manasottara mountain like the wheel of an oil pressing machine.
So Suryadev has his chariot, and the Suryadev chariot has how many wheels? One wheel. And the wheel has 12 spokes. The 12 spokes are 12 months. And the rim is the outer portion, which is divided into 6 rims, 6 divisions, and the 6 divisions are called as 6 ritus. 6 ritus, and then the hub is divided into 3. So this is the, and where this the wheel of the chariot of Suryadev is mounted. So the Suryadev's chariot wheel has one axle that comes on the top of Meru mountain, and the last Dvipa is called as Pushkar Dvipa. The last Dvipa is called as a Pushkar Dvipa. So middle Dvipa, which is a Jambu Dvipa, from Jambu Dvipa to all the way to the last Dvipa, that is a Pushkar Dvipa. And in the Pushkar Dvipa, there is a mountain called as Manasottara mountain. So the axle of that, so any wheel, if you have to rotate, you have to have a axle. So the horizontal axle starts from the Jambu Dvipa, which is the mountain of Jambu Dvipa is Sumeru mountain, and the last Dvipa, and on that there is a mountain called as Manasottara mountain, and that axle, one axle, is what actually holding the wheel of Suryadev. Another shloka, please read the translation.
As in oil pressing machine, this first axle is attached to a second axle, which is 1/4 as long, 35,37,500 yojanas, or 33 crore 15 lakh miles. The upper end of this second axle is attached to Dhruvaloka by a rope of wind.
So just to give quickly here, so this is how the wheel is rotating of the Suryadev, right? So if you see, have you seen this kind of figure? The machine. So this axle is the horizontal axle. Let's assume this is the horizontal axle that is coming from the, what is the one reference here? Sumeru. And other side is Manasottara mountain. So this is the Bhumandala, where is the Sumeru. The one axle goes to here, and another axle comes on the Manasottara mountain. And there is another axle which is the 1/4 of that coming and hitting to the second axle, like this wooden stick. That second axle coming from the Dhruvaloka. Dhruvaloka is the pole star, is a fixed. It's like Prabhupada always gives the example like chandelier, and the fixed point is a Dhruvaloka. So the second axle coming from Dhruvaloka all the way, which hits to the horizontal axle, to that chakra of the wheel of the Suryadev's Rath. Is it clear? Huh? So there is a horizontal axle, right? So there is a horizontal axle which comes from the Jambu Dvipa to the last Dvipa, right?
Actually, figure is a little confusing to me. Reason is because the other side of that wheel should be little longer, correct? Because it is going up to the last Dvipa.
So this is the one Dvipa which is the middle of the Bhumandala.
Bhumandala, that is Jambu.
Jambu Dvipa.
Jambu Dvipa to Surya.
This is the other.
Smaller section actually.
This is the another Manasottara mountain here.
Oh, that is Manasottara mountain.
So it is not up to the scale. So the rightmost is the Manasottara mountain. So these are the two mountains holding one axle, as simple as that. For example, if we have to have this is the axle, we have to have one beam here, one beam, and then one column here, and another column. So the one column is Sumeru mountain, and the other is the Manasottara mountain. And then there is one vertical axle coming from the Dhruvaloka and hitting to the 1/4 of the horizontal axle.
So, but where is then that wheel?
The wheel is here.
Wheel on the
Manasottara mountain. Let's go here. Yeah. So this is the wheel, Manasottara mountain. This is the Sumeru, and this is how the axle. Is it clear?
Then Surya Dev is where?
Suryadev is on this chariot.
And it is told that it is above the Bhumandala.
So vertically, it is above the Bhumandala by 1 lakh yojana.
So where exactly it is located? In the middle of that wheel?
No, so the chariot, assume that there is chariot of Suryadev. The chariot is not shown. It's like a one wheel rickshaw or cycle. On that there is a sitting chariot, the chariot where Suryadev is sitting, and he has a charioteer. So that anyway, I think we have the next shloka here. Okay, so the wheel is just mentioned, but above the wheel there is a sitting nice arrangement for that, decorated by just like our Mataji is decorated, nicely decorated, and Suryadev is sitting there and is having a rotating about the axle like this, clockwise is rotating, keeping the Sumeru mountain on his, so he's rotating this on his left, so clockwise he is actually rotating that way. And the next shloka, it says that we saw that actually. So is it clear now? How the chariot is there? Yes, bro.
That means the last Dvipa, what was the name of the last Dvipa?
Pushkara Dvipa.
Pushkara Dvipa is also moving and actually...
No, it is not moving. Bhumandala is not moving.
No, but in that case, when the wheel is moving, right? So the wheel is obviously
Moving on the mountain.
No, but you said the spokes, the axle is, one side is Sumeru and other side...
Not spoke, axle. I said axle.
Axle.
It's like this thing.
But then...
So there is a arrangement, mechanical way. You have some arrangement.
That's what. If axle is fixed, it cannot move. That is what I am saying.
Pivoted. It is a pivoted.
It is moving.
It is a pivoted, and the top it is pivoted from the Dhruva Loka pole star, and then it's rotating.
But then wheel from one side should free. Then only it will move.
The wheel is free, no?
So then... but
wheel is free.
If axle cannot be fixed, that's what I am saying. If axle is attached on one side...
Axle is horizontally fixed.
Horizontally fixed, and the vertical it is coming from the top.
Like our normal wheel.
Yeah, here you can see here. Here the bullocks are rotating or no? The same way that the wheel is rotating.
But the example is given here. One side, on the left side, we can see Sumeru mountain.
Uh-huh.
On the other side also it is attached. Somewhere it is...
Manasatara mountain.
But this picture shows that one side...
So the Manasatara mountain is fixed, means not one location. It is going along the Manasatara mountain. Yeah, it has to rotate. No?
Means that the mountain is fixed somewhere, right?
Mountain is fixed on the Bhumandala. On the top of the mountain is not just like one tip. It's a huge. On that mountain, it is actually going
So mountain itself is circular.
The mountain is all across Pushkar.
The mountain is a circular, Prabhu.
That's what I'm saying. Basically, so the objective is to understand...
You see here, the mountain itself is a circular.
Then it's fine.
And on that circular mountain, this wheel is actually rotated. So that is why initially I said it's like a lotus. It is not only one corner, another corner it is not there. It is all circular.
Because on one side, Sumeru mountain is a pillar kind of...
That's a middle of the lotus.
The other mountain is not pillar, it's actually circumference.
Yes, right. And that is on the last petal of the lotus.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. And that wheel has the 12 spokes, that is nothing but the 12 mass, and then it has 6 ribs, which is the 6 ritus. And then, so this is exactly, it is said that Taila Yantra Akshavad. Sukadeva Goswami is talking about Taila Yantra. So just like the oil pressing machine, so it is comparing because we cannot understand. So he is giving the example of Taila Yantra Akshavad. And the dimension is also given. And from the top, on the top, it is been held by a rope of the wind. Now, what is the rope made of wind? And where is it is held? Dhruvaloka. So the pivot point is a Dhruvaloka. The vertical axle and the horizontal axle and the wheel. On the wheel there is a chariot. On the chariot is Suryadev, and the Suryadev has his charioteer called as. Please read the translation.
Although the Aruna Deva sits in front of the sun god and is engaged in driving the chariot and controlling the horses, he looks backward toward the sun god.
So, you see here there is a Aruna Deva, who is a chariot. And for his chariot, now, Prabhu, this is clear, Prabhu? So this, Prabhu, Satyajit Prabhu. So the chariot has 7 horses. And who is a charioteer? Arunadev, and Suryadev is sitting there, and all the 7 horses, and the 7 horses are Gayatri, Bruhati, Ushnik, Jagati, Tristup, Anustup, and Pankti. So what is this?
7 horses.
Horses. But what is resembled to?
7 colors. 7 colors.
When you recite the Bhagavad Gita shloka, what is the meter? Anustup meter. So these all are the 7 chandas or 7 meters. So those are there. And who is this Arunadev? Arunadev has a children. They are mighty vultures called as Sampati and Jatayu. So their father is Arunadev. Arunadev is the charioteer of Suryadev, and he has 7 horses. Is it clear? So Bhumandala, above the Bhumandala, first is the Suryadev. What is the vertical height of that? 1 lakh yojana. And the next is now. Next is so Suryadev is the one who gives the light and the heat for all the other things. And below the Bhumandala, his light does not reach. So they all are on the subterranean planets are without the light of the Suryadev. But there are some Nagas who had the hood with the jewels and that shinings. But there is no light which goes below the 7 subterranean planets.
Which is below
Bhumandala, but part of the Bhumandala. That's why it's called subterranean. Subterranean means underground. Subterranean is underground. You see here. So assume this lower part is the Bhumandala. Above that is a Suryadev. Above Suryadev is Chandradev.
sun is moon.
That is where we have challenges to understand that. So you can see that. Please read, Prabhu. Evam, let's see that. Evam Chandrama Arka Gavastibhya Uparishtat Laksha Upalabhyama. Lakshya Yojana, Uparishtata Lakshya. So that means 1 Lakshya Yojana, Arkadev. Arkadev is what? And above Suryadev, 1 lakh Yojana is Chandradev. Please read the translation, bro.
Above the rays of the sunshine by a distance of 1 lakh yojanas, which is 8 lakh miles, is the moon, which travels at a speed faster than that of the sun. In 2 lunar fortnights, the moon travels through the equivalent of Samvatsara of the sun. In 2 1/4 days, it passes through a month of the sun, and in 1 day, it passes through a fortnight of the sun.
Okay, so the moon travels very faster speeds. This is Bhagavatam 5.22.8. So here 2000 yojna and 2 kroshas which is 16,000 miles. Suryadev travels in a moment. That is the speed of Suryadev. How much? 16,004 miles. That means 2000 yojna and fraction. 2 kroshas, which is a 0.5 yojanas, which is equivalent to 16 in a moment. And Chandradev goes even faster than that. Yes, Prabhu, you had a question, please.
Different question. You said the son of Arundev was Sampati and Jatayu, and Arundev is charioteer of sun god. But I think Jatayu or Sampati, Jatayu, got burned by sun when they were traveling to the up. So even though he was sun, but he got burned by the sun.
Yeah. That is true. Okay, so start from the Bhumandala. First is a Suryadev, 1 lakh yojana. Above that 1 lakh yojana, Chandradev. And the next is a 28 nakshatras. Please read the translation, bro.
There are many stars located 2 lakh yojanas, that is 16 lakh miles above the moon. By the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are fixed to the wheel of time, and thus they rotate with Mount Sumeru on their right, their motion being different from that of the sun. There are 28 important stars headed by Abhijit. So
there are 27 nakshatras, and the 28th nakshatra is Abhijit. Abhijit is the Uttara, Ashada, and Sravana. In between that is the portion which is Abhijit. Otherwise, there are 27 nakshatras, the constellations, right? So there is some differences. Sometimes it is said 3 lakh yojana, but 2 lakh yojana. But Bhagavatam, this shloka says that it is above moon 2 lakh yojanas. So Again, to refresh ourselves, Bhumandala, Surya Dev 1 lakh Yojana, above that, moon, above moon, and these are the 27 nakshatras, the constellations. And above that is,
Different planets.
that is the Shukra. Please read the translation, bro.
Some 2 lakh yojana 16 miles above this group of stars is the planet Venus, which moves at almost exactly the same pace as the sun according to swift, slow and moderate movements. Sometimes Venus moves behind the sun, sometimes in front of the sun and sometimes along with it. Venus nullifies the influence of planets that are obstacles to rainfall. Consequently, its presence causes rainfall and it is therefore considered very favorable for all the living beings within this universe. This
So the
has
vi-
been accepted by learned
Scholars. So this particular Shukra is favorable for all living beings within this universe, and that has been accepted. And because of the influence of the planets, sometimes it nullifies the influence of the planet that are obstacle to rainfall. So that means because of that we get a rainfall. So those who are obstructing rainfall, this Venus will remove that obstacles and we get the rainfall. So that is why it is called as very favorable to us. So this is again, we are reading from the Canto 5, chapter number 22, Shloka number 12. The previous was 11, previous was 8. So this is all from the chapter 22. And after Venus, what is the next? Mercury, yes, here we go. Usha Nasha Budho. Buddha is that. About the Usha. Usha is what earlier called as that. So, Sana. So now from above that, everything is about 2 lakh yojanas. From Nakshatra was the Shukra, which is a 2 lakh yojana. Above Shukra is a Buddha, which is a Mercury 2 lakh yojana. So please read the translation, bro.
Mercury is described to be similar to Venus in that it moves sometimes behind the sun, sometimes in front of the sun, and sometimes along with it. It is 16 lakh miles above Venus or 72 lakh miles above Earth. Mercury, which is the son of the moon, is almost always very auspicious for the inhabitants of the universe. But when it does not move along with the sun, it forebodes cyclones, dust, irregular rainfall, and waterless clouds. In this way, it creates fearful conditions due to inadequate or excessive rainfall.
This is also very, he is the son of Buddha Somasuta. He is the Somasuta. He is the son of moon, and that is the Buddha, and who is also very auspicious. Buddha is also very auspicious, which is again 2 lakh yojana above the Venus. It is their picture. So one thing that in our modern cosmos, who is rotating? Earth planet is rotating, and as per the Bhagavatam, who is rotating? The effect is same. Either you fix this, rotate others, or fix this and rotate others. But the effect. But Bhagavat cosmology says that it is a Surya Dev who is rotating. The Bhumandala is not at all rotating. Bhumandala is there as it is. It is only this. But effect is the same. You will get the sun, and there is further more details about the movement of the chakras and rasis and this stuff. And above the Mercury is? Yes. Very good. Above the Mercury is Mars, and it is called as Angaraka or also called as Manga. Please read the translation, Prabhu.
Situated 2 lakh yojana 16 miles above Mercury or 88 lakh miles above Earth is the planet Mars. If this planet does not travel in a crooked way, it crosses through each sign of zodiac in 3 fortnights, and in this way travels through all 12 one after another. It almost always creates unfavorable conditions in respect to rainfall and other influences.
So this is unfavorable. It creates unfavorable condition. This Manga, Mar, Arang.
Astrology, Prabhuji, is from
Yeah, here only. This is all astrological things. So Bhumandala, Suryadev, Chandradev, 28 nakshatras. Venus called in our thing, Shukra. Above that, Mercury called as Buddha, and who is the son of Chandradev, and above that is Mars is called as Mangala or Angaraka, and above that Santosh Prabhu. Yes, Jupiter. Brahaspati. Please read the translation, bro.
Situated 2 lakh yojana 16 miles above Mars or 1 crore 4 lakh miles above Earth is the planet Jupiter, which travels through one sign of the zodiac within the period of a Parivatsara. If its movement is not curved, the planet Jupiter is very favorable to the Brahmanas of the universe.
Brahmanas very favorable. This Brahaspati, Guru or Brahaspati is very, very favorable. Those so you have Brahaspati, so it's very favorable for the spiritual practices. And which is again how many yojanas from the delta, the previous one to that 2 lakh yojana. So from nakshatras, all other planets is about 2 that. And Santosh Prabhu next. Saturn, yes, here we go. Shanichara.
Situated 2 lakh yojana 16 lakh miles above Jupiter or 12 lakh miles above Earth is the planet Saturn, which passes through one sign of the zodiac in 30 months and covers the entire zodiac circle in 30 Anuvatsaras. This planet is always very inauspicious for the universal.
Shani lag gaya hai. So this is the Shani. So it's very inauspicious. Bhagavatam 5.22.16. So Surya Dev, Chandra, Nakshatra, then Shukra, Buddha, then Mangala, then Guru, Brahaspati, and then Shani. And the next Santosh Pro. Rahu Ketu is down. Rahu Ketu is down. So next is a... Yes, who said that? Hari all. Next is Saptarshis, 7 sages. Please read the translation.
Situated 11 lakh yojanas, 88 lakh miles
Above Saturn.
Miles above the Saturn, or 2 crore 8 lakh miles above Earth are the 7 saintly sages who are always thinking of the well-being of the inhabitants of the universe. They circumambulate the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu, known as Dhruvaloka, the pole star.
So, but Saturn to the Saptarshi is Ekadasha Laksha Yojana. You see the Sanskrit? Ekadasha Laksha Yojana Antara Upalabhyate Tata Uttarasmad. So beyond Shani is the Saptarshis, and beyond the Saptarshis, Santosh Bro. Yes, finally is our pole star, Dhruvaloka. So above that is the Dhruvaloka. Sukadeva Goswami, continue just for the break for you. My dear king, that many yojanas above the planets of the 7 sages is the place that learned scholar describes the abode of the Lord Vishnu. There, the son of Maharaj Uttanapad, the great devotee Maharaj Dhruva, still resides as the life source of all the living entities who live until the end of the creation. Agni, Indra, Prajapatis, Kashyapa and Dharma Devas all assemble there to offer him honor and respectful obeisances. They circumambulate him with the right side towards him. I have already described the glorious activity of Maharaj Dhruva in the 4th canto. I have already bataya aapko. Now this is the 5th canto, so I will not tell that. That is what Sukadeva Goswami said. So how is that? Let's go. Let's start from here. Okay. Who is the last from the Mandala? Surya Dev? Chandra Dev? How many? 28 nakshatras. Venus. Venus in Sanskrit? Shukra. Mercury. Mars as Mangala. Jupiter as Brahaspati, Shanichara, and then Saptarushis. And finally, you can look at the bottom image, it keeps increasing, and then pole star. So all of them are together in the form of like constella, and then it is like Prabhupada always says that it is like a sandler, and the sandler is fixed, and then it is increasing like this. So that is how all these planets are been there, and the fixed point or the pivoted point is Dhruva, right, Prabhu? Dhruvaloka, yes. And if those who want to take the snapshot of that from the Surya Dev, what is the distance from here? Surya Dev to Chandra, Chandra to Nakshatra, Shukra, Buddha, Mangala, Brahaspati, Shanichara, Saptarshi, Dhruvaloka, and this is the height with respect to, delta also is there, and with respect to Surya Dev is there. Surya Dev is a reference here, and from Surya Dev, Dhruva Loka is 3.8 million yojana above the Suryadev, and Suryadev is already 1 lakh yojana above the Bhumandala. So this is a 3.8 million plus 1 lakh yojana is above the Bhumandala.
So Prabhuji, the pole stars which we see, I mean, how should I map? That is the real pole, because in between I am not seeing Jupiter and all. Pole star. But is that a pole star?
Yes, yes, that is the Dhruva Tara.
Anything else in between?
It's a Dhruva Tara, that is the pole star.
Material realm we have that pole star.
As of now, I think that is what we can understand, that is equivalent.
Hard to map the real one.
Possibly.
Well, according to Ms. In one of the Vedic cosmology review, I was in the Bharat Varsha also there is a Yugal.
Mhm.
Okay. So the island has the Yugal kind of thing actually, which is near to your Jambudvipa kind of thing, lying as an island. So how that will be?
So as we discussed last time, the whole Bhumandala is like a disc, is not a sphere. So there is a difference between the circle and the sphere. So this Bhumandala is like a disc, which is a circular but not a sphere. Okay. So now what we see today is just some portion of that, because we are not able to see the whole Jambu Dvipa, only the Bharatavarsha, some portion of that, and then there is a 7 Dvipa. So we are able to see that only because our eyes are not.
That's correct. We are not able to see the further things. Now the thing is, which is there currently, okay, we are seeing it as a spherical.
No, the Bhumandala is not Earth. Bhumandala is a spherical
Yes.
space. And
Yeah.
Earth is just a
Small dot on that.
Correct.
So, but it did not mention that it is spherical here. It is mentioned as particularly the Bhagavatam shloka what I have referred so far. It is mentioned. It is like a pizza or the disc.
No, disc is there.
The Bhumandala.
The disc.
And now what Bharatvarsha or the Bhugol that we are seeing, I do not know which portion of that is on.
In Mahabharat, and there was written that in the earth also there is one rabbit and 2 people like that actually.
But possibly somewhere there could be some different references from Vishnu Purana, then Mahabharat. But today what we are just.
Bharatvarsha only they telling that it
Yes,
is
yes,
as a
possible.
non-spherical, which is actually where we are living, and that it has the
7 khandas, continents,
map.
possible. But it is not mentioned in Bhagavatam so far that all the 5 cantos, it is not mentioned there.
Well, the natural ask will be that with this kind of universe definition, where we are positioned. In Bhagavatam, that is not mentioned.
It is, it is Bharatvarsha, Bharat Khanda.
Bharatvarsha, Bharat. But this planet Earth which we have, how is that place? That is not mentioned. I mean,
This is all part of Bhumandala.
So last time, Prabhuji, you told us that 14 lokas, right? 14 lokas. So in the middle is Bhuloka.
Bhuloka. So this is the Bhuloka. Bhumandala is what we are talking about that. Now what we are seeing as Earth is just a fraction of that. It's not the complete.
I'm trying to map and see whether it's a spherical in shape or it's a Bhumandala part, or that is not defined anywhere.
Because we discussed last time that the the earthly planet, what we so call the earthly planet, the farthest point is only 20,000 kilometers. Nothing in front of what we are talking about, lakh yojanas is nothing.
Infinitesimal kind of.
Yeah. And so probably when you see from that, you are seeing the sphere. But if you see on the larger screen, it could be just a flat cylindrical things. But possible that here it is not mentioned. Yes, Prabhu. We are still within the universe. Yes, still within. That's billion. That is a 25 koti is the radius, half of the radius, and half of the radius 25 billion. Good catch.
Probably this vertical distance, but like it is straight or it is bending like this?
So it is also said that somewhere they also have dimensions in the width wise also, but not exactly all are cylindrical. So they sometimes goes like the Sandler. And again go down below that also again another portions of under the subterranean planets. So they are bigger, and then goes down that way.
And all are moving in same speed.
They have different speed, but they are going along with the Kala Chakra. Kala Chakra. So the Kala Chakra is rotating, and the Kala Chakra, with respect to the Kala Chakra, they appear they are going anti-clockwise, but they are also going clockwise. And Sukadeva Goswami gives the example of the earth potter, the Kumbhar who is making that, and one appear it is going anti-clockwise, and other way it appears is going clockwise. So because the example was given there.
You can make now Sumeruyan and Bhumandalayan also like something.
I was thinking how elliptical orbit can be defined.
Yeah, there's some next picture is coming there. We'll see that. So now Rahu and Ketu. Sorry, Prabhu.
With what reference do we assume that this is horizontal and vertical?
From the Bhumandala.
Like horizontal can be vertical, vertical can be horizontal.
So we are from the reference from the Bhumandala. So now Rahu and Ketu, it was mentioned. So the shloka from 24.1. My dear king, the speakers of the Purana say that 10,000 yojana below the sun is the planet known as a Rahu, and there is another contemporary is a Ketu. And so you know that during the nectar, this Rahu tried to create the differences between the Surya Dev and Chandra Dev. And as per Bhagavatam, it is said that when he tried to come closer or obstacle the Surya or Chandra, that is what is called as eclipse. And below the Surya is a Rahu and Ketu. Below the Rahu and Ketu, there are the Siddha Loka, Charana Loka, Vidyadhar Lokas. And that is nothing but after the Bhuloka, what is the next? Bhuvar. So that is the Bhuvar Loka of Siddha Loka. And from Surya Dev onwards is a Swarga Loka. It's all about the Swarga Loka. And below the Siddha Loka is the Yaksha and Rakshasa, Pishajas and Bhutas. They are above Bhu planet is only 100 yojanas. So, but we cannot, probably we may not be able to see that. So this is Bhagavatam 24th chapter. So Surya Dev, below that is Rahu Ketu. Below Rahu Ketu is Siddhadharas, Charana Lokas and Vidyadharas. And below that Yakshas and Rakshasas, Pishajas and Ghosts.
Rahu Ketu are below, how they eclipse
The orbit can be this way also, right? It could be this way also. So the orbit, it is just between the Earth and the Surya Dev. If it's coming that way while rotating, it can block the Surya Dev. And next, now
Only Rahu Ketu is moving like this. All
they are also obstructing. They are not going in the orbit, but it is said that they are going moves like one of the stars, the presiding deities of the planet, but although he is completely unfit to assume that they are also moving, but not in orbit. So they have some motions. Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada writes in the particular purport, I think, that they have some motion, particular orbit is there. So you can see here, Surya Dev, below that is Rahu and Ketu, below that is Siddhas, Vidyadharas, and below that Yakshas, Rakshas, and below that is our Bhumandalas. So this distance itself is a 1 lakh yojana. Surya Dev and Earth is 1 lakh yojana. Within that is this Rahu, Ketu, Vidyadharas, Siddhas, Charanas, and below that Yakshas and Rakshasas. And then, so here is a picture something like you can see that Mataji. May not be exactly cylindrical, but something like that. So in the purport of 5.23.9, Srila Prabhupada concludes all these things. Above the Bhuloka is the Swarloka, Swarloka, Maharloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Tapaloka is Satyaloka. So are you able to follow? Bhuloka, above that Bhuvarloka, above that Swargaloka. Swargaloka is Surya Dev all the way to the Dhruvaloka. That is the Swargaloka. Above Dhruvaloka is Maharloka. Maharloka, above Maharloka is 20 mile yojana is Janaloka. Above that 80 mile is Tapaloka. Above that 120 mile is Satyaloka. This is given by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. Please read the purport. Vishwanath
Chakravarti Thakur estimates that Dhruvalok, the pole star, is 38 lakh yojanas above the sun, Above Dhruvloka by 10 crore yojanas is Maharloka. Above Maharloka by 20 crore yojanas is Janaloka. Above Janaloka by 80 crore yojanas is Tapoloka. And above Tapoloka by 120 crore yojanas is Satyaloka. Thus the distance from the sun to Satyaloka is 23
233.
or 1 trillion, I don't know.
So this is the upper planetary system. This is the upper planetary system, starting from the Bhumandala, Bhuvarsva, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. Satyaloka is the residence of Brahmaji. And that distance between the Satyaloka to the Suryadev is 233.8 million yojana. Now we'll go to the lower planetary system. It is given only one shloka, not much. The lower planetary system starts from the Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala and Patala. And each one of them has a 10,000 yojana, 10,000 yojana, 10,000 yojana. But from the with respect to the Bhumandala, Atala is 26,000. Now why 26,000? Yes, very good. So Sumeru is 16,000 and Atala is 10,000. So that is a 26,000, 36,000, 46,000, all those things. So please read the 5.25 and 7.
My dear king, beneath this earth are the 7 planets known as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala and Patala.
So each one of them are 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 miles below that. So what are the upper planetary systems above Bhumandala? Bhuvar, Swar, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. In the between the Bhuvar Loka to the Swarga Loka is Antariksha, where Suryadev, Chandradev and all other up to the Dhruva Loka, that is there. It is clear? And below that is a subterranean. Subterranean means below the ground, under the ground. So these all 7 planets are below the ground. When the Sagar Maharaj, the sun, they actually went down, they were digging and digging and digging. So this is the subterranean planets. They went down, 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 down. And below the Patal, so now last is a Patal, and below the Patal is the hellish planet. I mean, of course, Garbhodaksha ocean is there, but in between there is a hellish planet. And please read the 5.26.5.
The great says Sukadev Goswami answered, all the hellish planets are situated in the intermediate space between the 3 worlds and the
Garbhodaksha. The 3 worlds means the lowest is the lower planetary system and Garbhodaksha ocean. The last is the Patal of the 7 lower planetary system and the Garbhodaksha ocean. In between them is the hellish planets.
They lie on the southern side of the universe beneath Bhumandala and slightly above the water of Garbhodaka ocean.
And so what is the distance between the Patala? So in the teachings of Kapila Dev 3.30, where he says that living entity has to pass 99,000 yojana within 2-3 moments. That is the hellish planet below the earth. So that means the hellish planets are 99,000 yojana below the earth and 10,000 yojana below the Patal. Is it clear?
That is Narak.
The hellish planets are called as Naraka. So Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, and below the Patala is hellish planet. And Sukadev Goswami here says there are primarily 28 hellish planets, but they are unlimited. But the main are the 28 planets called as the hellish planet. Yes, Mataji?
So this means, Prabhuji, this below is fully joined.
Yes. This is a part of the.
Above is like sun, moon is there is a gap.
That's Antariksha. That's Antariksha.
Antariksha is there, but here fully.
They are part of the Bhumandala's underground.
So digging can.
Yeah, digging, yes. How it is that? So now this Sukadev Goswami talks about this 28 hellish planets, and if you do some mistake, where will you go? So we will not go all those things, but if you use another's properties like wife, children or money, you will go to the Tamishra hellish planet. Then if you do somebody cheating another man and enjoying wife and children, you go to Andatamisra, Raurava, Maharaurava, Kumbhipaka. These are the names of hellish planet. And what are the, so why I put this, because we should be aware that if you do this mistake, we will be going this. So, and we should avoid that. Cheating another man, then committing violence against other living entities, maintaining one's own body by hurting others, cooking animals and birds alive to maintain one's body, they will go to the kumbhipaka, boiling oil. So this kumbhipaka, naraka, there is a boiling oil. And those who are eating another animals, they will go to this, the last one, kumbhipaka. This is Bhagavatam, huh? Not Bhagavatam 5.26 point sloka number 13.
So Prabhuji, one very, so this also is proving that if we are thinking all this in mind, of course it doesn't stay in mind. So then Kali Yuga, it's not sin, because it's not called out here that, because all these things I can think in mind that I killed somebody, and in dream I thought that way. Is that something which will lead to this still?
Yeah, because we say that what is our thought will come to the word will come to the action will come to the culture will come to habit. So it is just matter of time before the thought will come to the action. Hanji.
There is a Kali Yuga, there is advantage. Like Narmani said that even if you think bad in Kali Yuga, it will not have impact.
Yeah, but here is action.
Bad, then that will.
It is all about action.
This is action.
Cooking animals.
Yeah.
Now somebody say I don't eat, but here it is talked about cooking animals and birds alive. Oh Krishna.
मिस्टेक है शायद यहाँ पे Prabhuji। यहाँ पे alive word लिखा हुआ है, मतलब मरे हुए को खा लो। Cooking animals and birds alive.
No, it's not the mistake. Bhagavatam is not a mistake. Please understand.
Spelling mistake, basically type of mistake maybe.
No. This is exactly as is from Srimad Bhagavatam.
So then why it is alive only?
So that means we are killing is also the things, and after killing you are cooking.
So that is what is.
Yeah. So cooking animals.
पहले रौरवा में ले जाएंगे फिर उसको 13 में ले जाएंगे
Raurava Mahapaura this.
पहले again सैनिक ले जाएंगे
Pehले killing animal and number 11 will come in pro.
फर्स्ट 10 11 आपको ले जाएंगे डायरेक्ट नहीं ले जाएंगे
Committing violence.
Yeah, it is said that yes tava iha ugra pashun pakshino va pranat uparakshanti tamapa karuna purushadaurapi. That is aurapi. So that is what is said. So it is said that alive. It is alive.
मतलब ये कि दो तरह के अलग-अलग पापों के लिए अलग-अलग तरह के।
हो सकता है कि अगर आपने alive किया तो definitely going to the kumbhipaka.
So since childhood, Prabhuji, before coming to Krishna consciousness, everybody knew bit of it. Swarg jaoge, narak jaoge, Swarlok is Swarg and Narak Lok is hellish planet. So somewhere it's quoting to Bhagavatam.
Yeah, absolutely.
All these things have been bits and pieces people know.
Yes.
from probably past.
Absolutely, yes.
This is very detailed covered in Garuda Purana, and there also
Yes.
says that Krishna consciousness it talks. If somebody does follow that, there will be no.
Garuda Puran is all about that. What happened after your birth? It is said, Bhagavatam, it is said that when the living entity dies, he goes to this hellish planet, 99,000 yojana below to the hellish planet, and it goes in 2 to 3 moments. He gets this, some kind of body where Yatana Sharira, and then you'll have to go through that where you have it is like very hot sand, and the dutas are there whipping you behind that, and there is no water there, no cold drinks, nothing, and then since you so much of hot, you actually fell down, and then they will actually beat you again and again, and you have to reach first to this hellish planet. So this is the very horrible situation.
As a soul they cannot touch, correct?
No.
Yatna Sarir only they
Yatana Sharif, today if something happens to us, the soul is actually suffering, right? Because we are identifying with the body.
Consciousness is
Yeah. But Atma is actually pare to that. Okay, so then if he is killing Brahmana, if he is killing Brahmana, it is go to the Kala Sutra. Then deviating from the path of Vedic things, it goes to the Ashipatra Sravana. Then if he is king or government representative punishes innocent person, Shukra Mukha. Prabhu, quickly read one by one. Quickly read Prabhu one by one from 17th.
if a developed human being kills or torments insignificant creatures who have no discrimination,
He goes to Andakupa. So if you are killing other people who have not developed their things, innocent people, women, children, elderly people, you go to the Andakupa. Next.
Eating without sharing with guests, old men and children, or eating without offering the 5 kinds of sacrifice is no better than pro.
So that's why in our first we have to serve Matajis and Prabhus and guests. Keep in mind. Otherwise we'll go to. But don't worry, we are all chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. The whole purpose of showing this is that is scary situation. Please chant the name of Lord Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Robbing a brahmana or others of gems and gold in the absence of
Something missing. Yeah. Okay.
Indulging in sex with an unsuitable member of opposite sex, anyone other than one's spouse, tapta surmi. Indulging in sex indiscriminately even with animals, vajra kantaka salmali. Neglecting one's prescribed duties and breaking the religious principles despite being born to a responsible family.
If you are born into the responsible family, if you are not following that, we will go where is Krishna.
If husbands of Shudra women live like animals without good behavior, cleanliness or regulation, Yoda. If men of higher classes take their pet dogs or asses to hunt and kill animals unnecessarily,
Kills and that go to the which this pro?
Pranarodha.
Pranardhana. Okay.
Sacrificing animals for material prestige, Vishashana. If a foolish treasure forces his wife to drink his semen out of lusty desire, Lala Bhaksha. If one is a thief, arsonist, poisoner, or government official who plunders mercantile men, Sarameyana Dana. Lying or bearing false witness in business transactions or in giving charity, Avikshimat. If Brahmana or a Brahmana's wife or someone following a Vrata drinks liquor, Kshatriya or Vaishya drinks somrush in illusion, Ayapana. If a low-born, proud person fails to offer respect to one more elevated by birth, austerity, education, behavior, caste or spiritual order, Sharakar Dama.
If we are not offering respect to the others, we'll go to this hellish planet. Sukadeva Goswami talks only 28 here, but there are thousands and thousands of unlimited, these are prominent. So if each planet has a particular offense we do that is tagged, imagine there are thousands of unlimited things are there. Yes, Prabhu, next.
Sacrificing human beings to Bhairava or Bhadrakali and eating the victim's flesh. Rakshogana Bhojana.
Raksha Agana Bhojana. So if you are eating that, we'll go to that things. Last 4 or 5.
Giving pain to animals who are seeking protection by piercing them with lances and threads as if they were dolls. Sula Prota. Being like an envious serpent, always angry and giving pain to others. Danda Shuka.
If we are like hissing like serpent, then we'll go to there.
Confining other living entities in dark wells, granaries or caves. Avata Nirodhana. If a householder receives guests or visitors with cruel glances as if to burn them to ashes.
But glance like a cruel glance, right?
Definition of cruelty.
Cruel glance. So if that means Atiti Devo Bhava. We should.
These type of teachers are from Kali Yuga, no? But at that time also, like all Yuga, this type of.
Yeah, there will be some people, right? Always there, not majorities. The majorities are not there, but it is there.
Prabhuji, it is said that in Kali Yuga only action matters.
No. Don't take that as things, because the thought become action. It's just matter of time. So it is given somewhere as a waiver, but that waiver is not like that because next for last.
Yes.
Last, na?
Yes, being proud of wealth, fearful of losing it, and performing sin to earn more. Such person have a twisted vision and are like ghosts with no actual happiness. Suchi Mukha.
So they will go to the Suchimukha hellish planet. So this is just a glance of 28 hellish planet.
One question comes to mind.
So many
About the
hellish planets. And
there are only 6 stars.
where is the Yamloka?
Chanting.
They are the in next is coming there. Where is that? We had that, no? Pitraloka. Pitraloka is there. So Pitraloka is also in the hellish planet where the Yamadutas and Yam Raja is also there. So if you see Pitraloka, Hanji, Hare Krishna, please read the Pitraloka description, Bhagavatam 5.
Pitraloka is also located in this region between the Garbhodaka and ocean and the lower planetary systems. All the residents of Pitraloka, headed by Agniswata, meditate in great samadhi on the Supreme Personality of God and always wish their families well. The
Next.
king of the Pitas is Yamaraj, the very powerful son of the sun god. He resides in Pitraloka with his personal assistants, and while abiding by the rules and regulations set down by the Supreme Lord, has his agents, the Yamadutas, bring all the sinful men to him immediately upon their death. After bringing them within his jurisdiction, he properly judges them according to their specific sinful activities and sends them to one of the many hellish planets for suitable punishments.
One of the many hellish planets. And then after that, this is the 6, and from 8 onwards, 5.26, 8 onwards, the descriptions of all 28 hellish planet is mentioned. And below that is our Anantadev. Please read the Anantadev, Prabhu.
Lord Ananta. Sri Sukadev Goswami said to Maharaj Parikshit, my dear king, approximately 240,000 miles beneath the planet Patala lives another incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the expansion of Lord Vishnu known as Lord Ananta or Lord Sankarshana.
And how is that? So that means this whole so much of is like a burden for Anantadev? No, Sukadev Goswami says. Next.
Like a master.
This great universe situated on one of the Lord Anantadeva's thousands of foot appears just like a white mustard seed. It is infinitesimal compared to the hood of Lord Ananta.
Okay, so this is this universe is lying on the hood of Anantadev, and how many hoods he has? And on that only one hood this is there, and this is like a mustard seed. So this whole thing is not a burden for Lord. What is a burden for Lord? Nothing is there. And now, so now we saw the upper planetary system, the middle planetary system, the lower planetary system, the Brahmanda, and outside the Brahmanda there are the 7 coverings. And the 7 coverings are so the Brahmanda is a 500 million yojana. That is what you are talking, Prabhu. 50 crore yojana is that. And then above the Brahmanda is, the first layer of Brahmanda is, no, now we are talking about the Brahmanda. The Brahmanda also has the 7 layers. How many layers? So this is the only one universe. In the one universe there is a Brahmanda. Now what we talked about, all this lower upper planet system within that, and it has a covering, the 7 coverings. The first covering is Earth. What is the Earth covering width? Then next is water. Then read the number, Prabhu.
10,000 water, fire, 1 lakh, air 10 lakh, ether.
This is 10 lakh into 10 lakh because it's a million. A million में इसको 10 lakh से multiply करना.
Ether 1 crore, Amkara 10 crore, Mahat Tattva 100 crore, Tamsa 1000 crore.
Then Rajasa
10,000 crore, Sattva 1 lakh crore.
1 lakh crore into 10 lakh. This is the whole universe. Is what about that? And the total width of is that I don't know how many is that. One. Number doesn't matter, Prabhu. What matters is the extension. I mean, you see that how big is that, how vast it is that. And this is only
One universe.
There is only one universe to our dear Lord, and there are
Multiple universes.
unlimited universe.
So Ananta says, go to Prabhuji, those universes are one.
One के लिए एक के लिए expansion क्या अलग है. So there are unlimited universes, and this whole unlimited universe is the creation of the Lord, which is only 1/4 of the creation of our dear Lord.
Prabhupada ki.
Please read that from Easy Journey to Other Planets.
Yes. From Vedic literature, we understand that this material world is a manifestation of only 1/4 of the complete creation of God. The 3/4 portion of the God creation is the spiritual world that we find in Bhagavad Gita. From Easy Journey to Other Planets.
Other planets. So only 25% is what this material world is that, and the 75 is the spiritual that is beyond these things. To summarize, today we saw the vertical structure. In the vertical structure, the Bhumandala, from Bhumandala, Surya Dev, Chandra Dev, up to Dhruva Loka. Above that is Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, and below that is Atala, Vitala, Patala, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Below the Patala is 28 hellish planet. In that region itself is a Pitraloka, and there also Yamaraj along with his assistants. And there that how many planets are hellish planets are there? Thousands are there, but prominently 28 planets are there. And below that is our Anantadev, and he's holding that on his thousands and thousands of food. This only one of the universe is just like on his one of is like a white. See, and the whole, and there how many universes are there? There are coming from Karnadaksha Vishnu, unlimited universe, and this whole creation is only 25% of the creation, and then finally the 75% is the spiritual creation, and we think that we are very great personalities. So Prabhupada, thanks to our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we have this all technical information. The whole purpose of understanding this technical purpose is, what is the two last time we discussed, what are the purpose, and we'll conclude here. What was the understanding? Of course, Sukadeva Goswami, when he's mentioning 5.16.2 or 3, he says that though I am explaining this, you cannot understand all those things. Yes, Prabhu, somebody else. The greatness of Lord.
How insignificant we are.
And how insignificant we are in front of that Lord. And how our Lord is so great. That Lord still comes and gives a Bhagavad Gita to all of us and say, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
And the most important thing which I felt like always whenever we discuss this topic, that he is so great, we cannot actually understand.
Fathom.
Even though he is nowhere, he is present but he is not present. That means just by in his abode, everything is happening, everything is under control without, he is coming directly there. Everything is in control by his energies.
Absolutely. And that's the greatness. So, when we are talking about the greatness, so Prabhupada says that we know the Lord is great, but today we understand how great he is that. And not only that, he is a great, but he still comes in a deity form. And when he comes in a deity form, he still does not lose his greatness. And he's still having such a great thing, but he still gives access for all of us so that we can come and worship the Lord and chant his name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. And I had some many other things, but we'll do sometime later. But it's very difficult. About that is a chakra, the Rashis, and then there is a Shishumara planetary system, which is the same, but just giving that. And then we have, this is the whole picture of that. This is what we wanted to go, this different Rashis and Nakshatras and that's what I think.
One question,
Anji.
after learning so much, we learn the greatness of the Lord. Suddenly we don't get credit for something. We realize that we are insignificant after this class. But suddenly if we don't get credit for any of our service or any of our work, we suddenly become significant. How is that possible?
So this will at least make us humble. So once Prabhupada was asked that how can you become humble, then Prabhupada gave an example that that we okay, I have a video also. I wanted to show the video also. Okay, so yeah, because of the first thing comes is the ahankara and the last thing is the ahankara, and that is why we have to engage in the service. So despite hearing all those things, we still think I am so great. And that is the irony of that situation that we are in. When we see that we are not able to even count the number, Nishant Prabhu, we are not, at least we are able to go to some numbers. 10,000 crore into 10, it is millions, into 10 lakh, multiply that, we don't even know the diameter. I was putting that number in Google, can you give me in Indian? He said, no, beyond my capacity. So we cannot even fathom that. And then still Yugal Kishore Das think that I am a great. It's irony. It is irony. And that is how this should go in fit, that we are tiny, insignificant. When Prabhupada said you are tiny, insignificant, because of all these things. So we have some small video that I got it exactly on the 16th of February evening. So I will play 4 minutes.
So at the bottom of the planetary display, we have Shesha holding up the earth. This is Shesh, the empowered incarnation.
Are you able to hear? प्रभु थोड़ा सा ये करेंगे कि उसका आवाज बढ़ाएंगे क्या? Is it loud enough? थोड़ा सा आवाज उसका वॉल्यूम बढ़ाएं. हाँ, here we go.
So at the bottom of the planetary display, we have Shesha holding up the earth. This is Shesh, the empowered incarnation. There we have Ananta speaking Bhagavatam to the four Kumaras, and above the 7 subterranean planets. Here we can see Jambudvip, the central island of Bhumandala, and Bharatvarsha is situated on the southern side of that. There's 8 other Varshas with Ilavrita Varsha in the center, various supporting mountains with large trees upon them described in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the very center of Ilavrita Varsha is Mount Meru, Golden Mountain. Atop Mount Meru are the cities of important demigods, Lord Brahma in the center, the 8 Dikpalas in the cardinal directions and sub-directions. Moving out, we can see the broader Bhumandala, 7 concentric islands and oceans surrounding them. The 7th of these islands is Pushkaradweep. On that island is Manasotra Mountain. On the mountain there is various cities of demigods such as Indra. Out further is Loka Loka Mountain. These large elephants stand atop Loka Loka Mountain to balance Bhumandala. Outside of Loka Loka Mountain is Aloka Varsha, which is dark. The rays of the sun.
So this is a Loka Loka mountain. In one of the figures last time we saw this Loka Loka mountain, the last. And on that Loka Loka mountains are the elephants to balance the Bhumandala.
The other luminaries extend up to Loka Loka Mountain. On Manasotra Mountain here on Pushkaradweep, the sun travels above this mountain at the southernmost point of its annual orbit. Above Bhumandala is Bhuvarloka, which is the residence of the Charanas, Siddhas, Yakshas, Gandharvas. And above there is Swargaloka, beginning from the sun and extending up to the pole star Dhruvaloka. This is the moving part of the planetary.
Yeah, this is the planet, the orbits.
Here we can see the sun and the moon moving in their chariots. The chariots are being drawn by horses moving in the anti-clockwise direction, but they're traveling with the wheel of time
Chariot.
in the clockwise direction faster. So it looks as if they're moving.
So you see that, Prabhu, the chariot? Satyajit Prabhu, or chariot?
Backwards. Above them are the zodiac of stars, more planets, and another realm of stars. So here we can see everything moving with the Kala Chakra, circumambulating the axis that connects Mount Meru with Dhruvaloka. Above these planets, we come to the planet of the 7 sages, Saptarshi. You can see them here. They're commonly known as the Big Dipper, and then Dhruvaloka, the pole star. On the ocean of milk situated there, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, who is the Paramatma within everyone's heart, he resides on Anantashesh. Moving up beyond there, we have Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka.
I think there's a lag.
Here we haven't included many of the details for there, but on Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, we have residences of the Lord, such as Lord Varaha, Lord Vamana, and so on. Here's Brahmaloka, and on Brahmaloka, we also have a form of the Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu as the Sahasrashesha Purush. Beyond there is the 7 coverings of the universe, earth, water, fire, etc. And outside of the universes is the abode of Lord Shiva, Shiva Loka. There he resides eternally. Beyond Shiva Loka, we come to Mahavishnu, Karanodakashaya Vishnu, with innumerable universes that have emanated from the pores of his transcendental body. Here you can see him being served by Rama Devi. Then we come to the Brahmajyoti, the effulgence of the Lord's transcendental body. Penetrating through the Brahmajyoti, we come to the Vaikuntha planets. We're showing 24 planets of the Vaikuntha realm in this model. The Lord, with 4 arms, is holding a conch, disc, club, and lotus, and the various combinations of those 4 make 24. Then we come to Goloka Vrindavan. Here we can see Radha Madhava, but we'll also be showing the other primary rasas. Krishna with the cowherd boys, Krishna being served, Krishna with Mother Yashoda. So this is an overview of the planetary display to be shown in the main dome of the temple.
Hari Bol, Sisi Radha Madhav ki, sitting there in Golok Vrindavan and giving mercy to all of us. Thank you very much. We'll pause here. Almost 2 hours. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I think so, because the video I just got that it was not referenced. So when you go to TOVP, you will see in reality this whole structure, and then you will be able to understand that how it is there. Yes, please. Sit down, bro.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.